This conference will now be recorded.
When we go to the dimension, here in the options, can you see the options? Here, individual references and entire wall. This applicable for only for the walls only, this method, what I am going to explain. Individual method means we can do one by one like this, right? If I go to this entire wall, here I will get the options, okay? And I will go to the options. When I go to the option here, I have the wall openings and width. Let's say next intersecting the walls. Okay, I chosen these options. Let's see what will happen if we choose this dimension by placing the dimension. I'm going to OK. Just I'm selecting the wall. See, directly I'm getting all dimensions automatically. It will read all openings and wall thicknesses and everything, whether it is wall, door, and whatever it may be. It will. In this way, we will place a dimension. For example, here 10 inches dimension is the overlapping. I want to adjust this overlap. So select the text and click on this small dot, bring it to the outside. Listen carefully. See here, if you don't want this leader line, select the text and go to this options, remove this leader. Okay. This is the one simple method to place the dimensions. And this will be one single entity. It's a continuous dimension, it's a single entity. Clear? So generally, if we think about the workflow in Revit, so as we know, Revit is a tool for the BIM. Okay? In the BIM, we do different kind of the workflow. To work in this Revit, we have the workflow like this. Okay? One is creating the 3D model. Okay, and the second thing is 3D model of all services. What are the services we have? Architecture, structure, and MEP. Then coordination of all services. Okay. Next, annotation. Next, bill of quantities. Next, sheet creation. Okay. See, first what we do, we create the 3D model for the all disciplines. Now we are working with the structure and architecture. Okay, in the architecture, what are the elements we can find as a 3D model? Walls, doors, windows, floors, ceiling, staircases, slabs, doors. These things we will model it. And in structure, columns, beams, and all we will model it. MEP, duct, pipe, cable truss. These things we will model, and we will bring all together into one model. And we do the coordination of the services. Means we do the clash check, clash resolve. Okay, after resolving the clashes, we go for the annotation. Annotation means placing the dimension and the text. In annotation, we will get the dimension and text. Now, as we are working only one services, we are ignoring this option and directly we are going to the annotation. After annotation, we do the bill of quantities, BOQ. Okay, then we create the sheets. Sheets are nothing but creating the layouts in the AutoCAD. Generally, what we do, we will work entire thing in the model space. and we will go to the layouts when we create the title box and presentation kind of things. So this is a workflow we will follow it while working in the Revit. Same way, if you see our way of working, first what we have done, we placed the walls and the doors, windows and floor. Then I placed the room name and number and area. Okay, I placed the dimension. Now here I want to place the door numbers and the type of the doors. Okay, so in Revit, if I want to get the room name and number, what I placed the room tag here, right? Room and room tag I placed. For example, I want to place the door numbers. I need to place a door tag. I hope everybody with me. Yeah. Now I will go to the annotate. When I go to the annotate here, you can see the tag by category. Okay, tag by category. Before adding this tag, we should know what is category in the Revit. Is there category is nothing but a layer. Let's say for example, I'm selecting this floor. Floor is one category. When you select the floor, I can see the floor in the property. Okay. Generally, for example, you are working in the AutoCAD. If you select one object, what it will show? It will show layer of this object. In same way, if you select this floor, I can see the category of this object. Let's say now I am going to select the wall. I can see the walls. Okay. When I select the door, I can see the doors. When I select this window, I can see the window. For example, I am selecting the dimension. I can see the dimension. Each layer is a category. This is a terminology in the Revit. Here we should remember that we cannot create the new categories. What are the available in this template we can use directly. If you draw the wall, it will go and sit in the specific layer, in the walls layer, the walls category. Now, if I want to place a door numbers, I will go to the tag by category and I will move on the door. See, when I move on the doors, I can see the door number. Okay, let's say for example, I'm going to the window place. Can you see? I'm getting the window number. See, this is different tag. This is different tag. Okay, let's say for example, now I'm going to place tag by category. I want to place all numbers to the doors. See, I'm getting the different numbers. Okay, so I will go there. For example, here I will adjust. I don't want to this leader line. Select the tag and remove the leader. Okay, you are adjust. This showing door number is 1. Okay, so from where I am getting this number? When I place the tag, directly it showing and printing here. But from where it is reading, I need to check it. When you select the door, here we can see this property mark is there. Okay, in the mark I have the number 1. Okay, let's say for example I'm going to this door. This door has a number 2. Okay, see, I don't want to this leader. I will remove and I will adjust my text properly without any overlaps. Select, remove the leader and place the tag. Okay, and 1 2 3. Let's say I'm coming here. I want to make this door number as a 4, but it's showing 8. So now where I need to edit, select the door, go to the property, change the mark number. Okay, if you change here, it will update here. Okay, and this number is 5. Select the door, make it 5. This is we need to do manually. We have to change one by one. Okay, let's say 4, 5. Let's say door number 6. Okay, door number 7. Let's say door number 8. Door number 9. Remove the leader. Okay, so this door number is 10. Correct. I want to remove this. Just select it, adjust wherever you want, then place. Understood? How to place the door numbers? Let's say I want to place for the window number. This is the window number 1. Again, I am going to the mark for the window. Okay. But here, what is happening? I selected the window. In the mark, I have the 1, but it's showing 17. Okay. Again, I am going to place the tag on another window. It is showing 16. Okay. So, but if we select this window, I can see in the mark 2. Here, we need to identify from where we are getting the 17 and where we are getting the 16. Okay. When I select the window in the property, I cannot see anything 17 here. What I do, I will go to the edit type. Okay. I will check once again here. See, in the type mark, I have the 17. Correct. If I want to make it 1, want to make it 1. Okay. See, if I want to make it 2, edit type. Here, type mark, I will make it to the 2. Fine. So, but here we need to discuss about the what is the mark and what is the type mark here. This is very important to understand Revit. Okay. What is it? Difference between mark and type mark. Okay. Before discussing this, we should understand the what is the category and what is the type. Okay. Category means it's a layer, right? Type means it is a different size in this layer. Okay, let's say, for example, I am taking this wall. Okay, say this is a wall 10. I am going to change into the wall 6. Okay, copy. This is wall 10, wall 6. I'm changing to the wall. Okay, so wall is my category. In the wall, I have the different sizes. Each size is one type. Okay. each size is one type. For example, if I give the number for each type is the type mark. Okay, let's say for example this is wall 10. Okay, this is wall 6, this is wall 4. I will give one number for wall 10, I will give one number for the wall 6, I will give one number for the wall 4. This number represent the type. Let's say for example I will go there and edit type. In the edit type I can find the type mark. See, if I give the number 1 here, or else I will give the number 10. Okay, and I will go there. This is wall 6. Okay, and I will go there, edit type, wall 4. Okay, what is a mark here? If we go to this property, I can see here, this is a wall number 1, wall number 2, wall number 3. Here we need to understand that mark is nothing but unique ID for the object. Type mark is each size will represent the one number. Okay, so type mark we can find in the edit type for any category. Mark we can find in the directly in the property. Understood? So now see here. For example, I'm going here. I have the different kind of the doors. I will go to the 6880 door. One more thing is I will make it 6882, and this is the another door. Okay, let's say this is D1, D2, D3. Okay, this is, let's say for example I want to make this type as a D1. I will go to the type mark. We will make the D1. Let's say I will go to this door, edit type. I'll make it mark is D2. And I will go there, edit type, mark is D3. Okay. Generally, in our architectural drawing, in AutoCAD drawing, D1 this many doors, D2 this many doors, D3 this many doors. We can give one list in the drawing. For that purpose, we use this D1, D2, D3. Let's say, for example, now I am going to add the tag. Annotate. Go to the tag by category. See, I am placing text. Here, what I am getting? I am getting only the mark here. Let's say, for example, I want to place the type mark here. I want to write the type mark here. Okay. So, before editing this tag, we should understand that Revit is a family dependent software. If you select one door, it is a family. If you select this tag, it is a family. If you select the wall, it is a family. Okay. So what I do, I will select this annotation family, this tag family, and I will link between door to this tag. Let's see how to change it. Select the tag. When you select it, you can see the edit family. In the Revit, we have the two models. One is the creating the project and creating the family. Now when I click this edit family, I will go to the different model, family models. I will go to the edit family here. Okay. When I go to this family section, when I click this text, here I can see the label. If you go to the edit label, here you can see the mark. Instead of the mark, I will remove this mark and I will add the type mark. Okay. And load into the project. I will go to the project. Override existing version and the parameter values. Now say D1, D2, D3. Okay. So according to our requirement, we need to change this family. Generally, now I changed this family as a type mark. It will reflect the entire project. Now can you see? 6, 6, 6, 6. This door type is a 6. Let's say this door type I want to change into the D4. Select it. I will go to the instead of type mark D4. So automatically everything will get updated. Okay. Let's say this door is D5. Okay. Type mark means for each size we are going to assign one identification ID. Mark is unique number to give the unique value for this categories. I hope it's clear for everyone. Okay. Just mark and type mark. Remember, mark is a unique number. Type mark is a identification number for different sizes. Now here I want to get the BOQ for this doors. I mean bill of quantities. Okay. To get the bill of quantities, here in view we will go to the view. Here schedule and quantities here. Okay. So now I want to know how many doors I have in my project. So what is the different sizes? Okay. I will go to the schedule and quantity. Here I want to create the BOQ for the doors. What I do, I will select the doors here. These are all categories. Okay. I will select the doors and OK. In the door, I choose a different required columns. Let's say one is the type, means size. Okay. And what is the width of the door? Let's say in which level we have. Level means floor. Okay. Height of the door. Let's say width of the door. And count. Okay. Let's say I'm going to give the cost also. I can arrange this in order. Let's say type. After type, I will get the level. Before width, before height, I want to width, count, and cost. If I make OK, I will get one tabular format here. Correct? So this created tabular format will save in the schedules and quantity in the project browser. Door schedules. Now see, this is one door in the ground floor. Okay, width 3 feet, height 6 feet 8 inches, count is 1. Okay, and we have the different type D2 type of the door also there. For example, D2 is door is. I want to see where this door is there in my drawing. Just select it, go to the highlight in model. If you go there directly, it will show the location of this door. So now you can see that. If you want to change into the different type, this is a D5. Let's say according to this size I given the D5. I want to change into the D6. Let's say D4. Go there. What is the D4 size? Let's see. 36, 80. Select it. Type. Okay. 36, 8. Directly to change the D4. If you go to the schedules, it will get updated automatically. No need to measure. And now I want to see the how many doors I have the with the different. Go to the fields here. In the fields, I want to sort out first. Sorting, same like Excel. Okay, I want to sort by type. I make it okay, I will get the all ascending order. Then I will go there. I use this option, itemize every instance. Can you see? If I remove this checkbox, I will get the count of the each door. See, 34, 84 door. Okay, width is 2 feet 10 inches, height 7 feet. I have the one door. Okay, 36, 8 inches doors. I have the 10 doors. Okay, let's say now here I want to add one more column, type mark, just for my identification. Just I will go to the fields. I will add the type mark here. Where is type mark? Okay. Before type, I will use the type mark for easy identification. I will sort by type mark. Sorting type mark. I will get the ascending order. Let's say D1 doors, I have the 1. D2 doors, I have the 1. D3 doors, 1. D4, I have the 10 doors. Okay. Let's say, for example, now I will delete the D1, D2, D3 in the model. Okay. I will go to the ground floor. Let's call this here. I have the doors D1, D2, D3. Select and delete, delete, delete. 3 doors are deleted. When I go to the door schedules, automatically it will get updated. Okay. So there is no chance to manipulation and mistakes. So now I added the 3 doors. I will get the 3 doors. Let's say now I am going to add one more couple of doors. Just architecture doors. Okay. Let's say this time I will use different doors. For example, 2 doors added. What is the door name? 6880. Okay, 2 doors. I will go to the Beaver queue. Here 6880 become the 3 doors. Okay, let's say for example, I want to change. I want to match with these doors. Go to the modify. Here you can use the match property. Select match. Okay. See now check. 5 doors are there. 688. Let's say for example I delete one door from here. Now it's a 4 doors. Automatically it will get updated. No need to calculate manual way. This is the advantage of the Revit. You will get the automated bill of quantities. Let's say now I want to take the schedules for the walls. I will go to the view, schedule and quantity. Okay, choose the walls. Okay, in the walls. Here I will choose the same type of the wall. Okay, wall type. Let's say width. Okay, length. Let's say value. Right. For example, count and cost. See, now I will get the all type of the walls. Okay, width, the length, and all. If you want to area also, this is the volume of the wall. If you go to the, if you want to add area also, I can add it. I want to move area before value. Okay. Now I want to sort out by the type. Go to the fields, sorting, and by type. Okay. So see W4, W6, W10. I want to remove this option in the sorting. Itemize every instance. I will get the count. W4 I have the 16 walls like this. Okay. Now I will sort next by value. Same like Excel, ascending, descending kind of the things. Okay. Let's say I want to give one break after this W4 walls. I will go to the sort. In the type, I will add the footer. In the footer, I can give the counter, total, totals only, any one of the option. Okay. Let's say now I am going to give the count and total. You can see total 16 walls are there. Here, I want to see the total volume for the material. I will go to this field in the formatting. Okay, I need to calculate volume, right? Go to the volume. Here in the options, calculate totals. If you make it okay, here you can give the total volume of the W4 walls. Why we need the value for the walls? To calculate the number of bricks. Okay, let's say for example now, how many bricks are required for these walls? Okay, just if I go to the calculator, let's say what is the total value? 615.28. Let's say for example value. So we divided by volume of the one brick. So how many square? I mean, this is a cubic feet, right? CF means cubic feet. One brick value. We will divide by one brick value, then we will get the value of the number of the bricks. In this way, we will calculate. Okay. So this is the bill of quantities. It's clear for everyone?